I want to remind you that with a couple of scriptures first. According to scriptures, the key to successful relationships is really not love. And I know that we've been taught that if you love someone, then it'll work. But I think our experiences have proven that wrong. I don't think anyone in this room who have been through a divorce will tell you that when they first got married, they hated the person. They wouldn't tell you that they had planned on a divorce. It was part of the planning. People don't do that. And furthermore, to say that many of them have been through difficult relationships would tell you that there was a lot of love in that relationship at first. At least what they understood to be love. And so if love was supposed to guarantee successful relationships, then you should have had a successful one. But we need to understand that love does not guarantee success in a relationship. Now, we're going to look at the culture of the kingdom of God and look at how diametrically opposed our culture is to that. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, is an interesting statement made by Solomon regarding relationships. He says, by wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established, and through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasure. It's kind of a little idiom here he's using in the Hebrew. The word house here is referring to, of course, a marriage. The word established means that it is set, it is founded, grounded in the house. And then the words rooms is referring to atmosphere. It's a pleasant place to be. It's like walking into a place filled with beautiful diamonds. I think most of us who have been through a difficult home life would say that life was very tough going home. Sometimes you didn't want to go home. And then when you were home, you stayed in separate rooms. And then sometimes, if you stayed in the same room, you slept back to back. Sometimes the house is the most difficult place to be. It's not a place with rare and beautiful jewels. It's almost like it's icicles. And according to Solomon, to build a strong home, to establish a strong relationship, to build a good marriage and a good family, you don't really need love first. You do need love, but it's not first on this list. He said the first thing you need is what? Wisdom. Wisdom is applied knowledge. Then you need what? Understanding. Understanding is comprehending information. And then he says you need what? Knowledge. Knowledge is information that you can use for functioning. So he said three things you need to build a strong family, a strong home, and a strong marriage. He said you must have, first of all, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. I think you need to turn them right side up to get the right meaning, because knowledge is first information. So he said the secret to a good relationship is not love and affection and, you know, holding hands and going on dates and having, you know, coffee together or something. No, he said a good relationship begins first of all with information. You've got to get information. Then the second point he emphasizes is you must have understanding. Now, understanding is the capacity to understand or to comprehend the information. Now, why is wisdom the last one? Because wisdom is application. You cannot apply what you don't know, and you cannot know what you don't understand. And so you've got to have information first, then make sure you understand the information, and then you can apply it. According to Solomon, information must be the foundation. And let me just caution you that information here must be truth. It must be truth. You can have information that's not true. And there's a lot of information out there in our culture that is very, very dangerous. And most of us go into our relationships with information that is not truth. And so we're not just talking about getting information. The secret to success in anything is applied truth. Those of you who are scientists or scientific in your orientation would know that when you talk about science in the lab, they talk about theory, and then they talk about applied science. The difference between the two is one of them is kind of what you just study. The other one is what you actually experience. Well, wisdom is applied information. So you could say that wisdom is applied science of truth. And according to the kingdom of God, you begin building relationships on the concept of information, understanding, and wisdom. This is going to be a very, very helpful series as we study the culture of the kingdom. Some of you are going to sit here day in and day out and wonder why you didn't get this information 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Success is not a mystery. Success can be predicted. So can failure. And you can actually predict people's failure. It's not difficult to do. I do it often. I don't tell them, but I try to warn them. But you can tell a person, you know, it's not a prophecy, but what you're doing will lead to this. And what you don't know will lead to that. And so failure is predictable. So I want you to remember as we go through this that we're going to be seeking truth. We're going after what? Truth. What is truth? What is truth? Write that down, please. Truth is original information. That's truth. What is truth? Truth is original information. If you want to know the truth about something, you have to go backward, not forward. You got to get back to the original information on the product. You know, it's amazing. No matter how long you had a product, when something goes wrong with it, you go and try to find the manual. Now that manual might be old, you know, but you still got to go back and find what the original information was about the product. And this is why truth is so critical. So anything that you want to know the truth about in life, you've got to go back and find out who has the original information. And then you will find that you begin to discover the secret to applied science.